Talita G. Long was born in Brooklyn, New York. She is the daughter of two immigrants from Trinidad and Tobago. Her background has a lot to do with how she came to end up at the University of Iowa. She was first exposed to art in a Catholic church where she went to school. She later went to Cooper Union, where she was one out of 10 African American artists to receive a full ride. She then came to the University of Iowa to continue her education, regardless of her being a mother. It was difficult for her as she feared not being able to pay, especially because she was being denied a scholarship. However, a teacher from Cooper Union advocated for her in order for her to have the opportunity to work with Mauricio Lazansky, who at the time was well known for his introduction of printmaking in the University of Iowa. Her thesis, an MFA statement in printmaking, begins with her realization of the strong bond between her drawings and prints. Although drawing helped in her prints, it also hindered the process, such that she would have sketches but found that too limiting. Thus, she realized that at some point the drawing must be discarded and the plate must take on its own life.
In 6 heads, Talita's goal was to use a different technique for each head presented in the work. She used a mixture between sugar lifting, which creates broad areas of color unlike any other technique, cross-hatching, which is used to create contrast between light and shadow, soft ground, which creates pencil or crayon-like lines, and mezzotint, which is engraving on a metal. Talita states in her thesis that she would constantly add and erase marks, which may suggest that she would change the shapes and shadows as ideas came. In head number 1, Talita once again makes use of cross-hatching, soft ground, and constantly adding and erasing to create heavy contrast between light and shadow. The dark background creates depth, while the cross-hatching in the background creates texture. At first glance, Greyhead seems like an eerie portrait of a mysterious man. However, upon closer examination, the head takes on a ghostly appearance. This is due to the heavy contrast and the rough and thick lines created by cross-hatching. Ghost Head, another eerie piece, utilizes a technique novel to Long's MFA series, bringing the illusion of depth with the negative image provided in the sea of blackness surrounding the mysterious form. This peculiar head, inset with a dark mouth and nose, peers out of the void in the background, leaving the setting up to the viewer's imagination. However, the heavy contrast and fitting ghost-like features send these thoughts to an eerie place. These features, however, play to the benefit of the piece, not only bringing a finished feel to the work, but also bringing the wide variety of applications of intaglio printing to life.
In Talita Long's series of prints for her MFA thesis, each piece holds unique characteristics that differentiate a series of similar works in a very noticeable way. Presented with a dark image, the 6th print in Talita's collection is particularly unique. The lack of high contrast and the resulting negative space lend the blocky head a shadowed image, as if the head were hiding into the cover of darkness. This contrast also gives the print an individuality, as the full weight of the paper is never shown, much unlike its companions. The next print in Long's MFA collection is simply named Untitled, and much like its predecessor stands out while retaining a feeling of unity with the rest of her other pieces. A long, thin head is presented to a close-up, something seen rarely in Long's work that, much like number 6, uses a high-contrast, no-paperwhite technique. However, applied in number 7, the feeling is lighter and is more in the likeness of an old photo taken with a friend. Long's 8th print in her MFA thesis series stands out the most among her heads, revealing a neck and shoulders outside of what looks like another of Talita's prints. Keeping this unique stylistic choice in mind, it is notable that discrete details were included in the head itself, supported by a heavy contrast down the middle of the face. The 9th and final print of Talita's MFA series, humorously named 4 Heads, as in the number 4, gives another look at the concept of multiple heads. These heads, however, seem distorted in a way, as reflected in the title, All Are Missing 4 Heads. The details in each of the heads greatly differ, with the 1st, 2nd, and 4th reminiscent of Ghost's head, while the 3rd head devises a trend in Talita's series, a dark face, 2 black holes for eyes, a rough splotch for a nose, and a simple line to denominate the lips. The other heads look like ghosts, while the third takes on a sinister glare that gives this piece a rightful place as the last of Talita's prints.
Talita's thesis is actually very representative of her heart, such that most of her art contains similar features from the heads in her thesis. She claims that these faces come to her from the other side, and that she recognizes these people. Today, she is a singer, author, and writer, along with being a painter and sculptor. She is trying to cross the barriers of black art and be a fully recognized artist, as she believes that her art is not acknowledged due to her race. But she also believes that nobody's art is better than hers, nor is her art better than anybody's, as everybody's lines are different and everybody's lines are beautiful.